and he volunteered to be part of this game show. Didn't know what he was going to do, what it was going to take to win or whatever.
What a cool opportunity to be on a TV show.
Yep. He was kidnapped, blindfolded, and then taken to an empty apartment and told to strip naked immediately. What? They took his clothes. The apartment was completely empty, except it had a functioning toilet and this giant rack of magazines. This crazy story about a Japanese game show called, it translates to Do Not Proceed, Crazy Youth.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
Nope.
It's insane. It's so crazy.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, I think this was like really popular in like the late 80s, early 90s. Black Mirror type stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they got away with the majority of this.
When was this?
When was this?
Yeah, when it happened.
Like late 80s, 90s.
Okay, got it.
Like what I said.
Sorry, I can't believe this. I'm trying to imagine all. You have so much information. I forget small details.
Okay, so an example of like a couple of the segments that they would run.
Okay.
They had two contestants that had to hitchhike from South Africa to Norway. And they just had to hitchhike. And
that's beast.
Right? And one of the dudes got like lost in the Sahara and like couldn't find his way out and like almost died. And so that's the theme of this show is just like, it's insane. And then another one, they put two contestants on a desert island and they had to build a raft and make it back to Tokyo. And it took them 4 months.
Oh my goodness.
And they almost starved to death.
So there's no like parameters like, hey, and you're going to have this and we're going to have teams checking in. Like, it's like, no, just, we're going to fly you somewhere and you have to get back.
This is the worst one though. And this is the Black Mirror type stuff.
Okay.
This guy, I don't know how to say his name in Japanese, but his nickname was Nasubi.
Mm-hmm.
And he volunteered to be part of this game show. Didn't know what he was going to do, what it was going to take to win or whatever.
What a cool opportunity to be on a TV show.
Yep. He was kidnapped, blindfolded, and then taken to an empty apartment and told to strip naked immediately. What? They took his clothes. The apartment was completely empty, except it had a functioning toilet and this giant rack of magazines. And for him to win, he had to play all the sweepstakes in the magazines to collect $1 million worth of prizes. And for his food, he would have to win sweepstakes to win food. So they would deliver food to this apartment. And
I have seen this.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. This is where it gets crazy.
How are we reading if we're blindfolded here?
He's blind. He's kidnapped. They took him.
I was confused in my house.
No, that was a valid question.
That'd be hard.
They blindfolded him, took him there, took off the blindfold.
Yeah, you remember the strip naked part? That was including the blindfold. Okay.
But it took just over a year. No contact with the outside world.
Over a year for this game show?
Yes.
Do they live stream it or like
this
what is
is
happening?
What's messed up.
Yep.
So they gave him a camera and they're like, film yourself and this will be the show. So he was filming himself, but they had cameras set up to where it was a 24/7 live stream. And so there was millions of people watching him go crazy. And he's butt naked too. And so like no privacy.
Oh my goodness.
And he got to a point to where he almost starved. And so they had to bring him some bread and water. And then he won a giant bag of rice, ate the rice, was about to starve again. And then one of the sweepstakes, he won a bag of dog food, ate the dog food, finally got to the $1 million, right? The producers are like, this show is such a hit. So they're like, you won. Blindfolded again. Took him to another empty apartment.
Did he choose to do this?
He could. Okay, so the thing is,
he could have backed out.
They said the door's unlocked. You can leave at any time. But he was like determined to win.
Yeah.
But then like
you go
lost
crazy.
himself.
Yeah, you go crazy.
And then they put him in another apartment, a different location. Same thing. Had to win sweepstakes to get a ticket to fly back to Japan. And then he did it. He was so good at the game now.
Yeah.
He did it in like a couple weeks. And the producer's like, oh no, this is too early. So he said, no, it actually has to be a first class ticket. And he did it in a couple weeks. At this point, dude, he's like skinny. His hair's wild. His eyes are just like insane. Take him again, blindfold him, put him in this apartment.
What is happening?
Listen to this. He was so like used to this life.
Yeah.
That he like they undid the blindfold. He immediately got naked and like sat down on the floor, and then the walls dropped, and he was on set of the game show, and everyone's like, "You won!"
And he's
freaking out. He's like,
he's naked.
He's naked and he's freaking out, and he's like, ah. And then
I'd be tuning into that, boy. I'm telling you that.
But he had no idea millions of people were watching him.
Dude, all the time.
Yeah, constantly.
All the time. Oh, my
and then he talked about, they did an interview with him like years and years later, and he says basically the amount of psychological damage it has done to me is irreversible.
That's so
He says
crazy.
to wear clothes, it's constantly itchy for him. And like he has a hard time talking to people because he was so secluded.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
That's like prison. Like, you know, people get that so used to prison,
like
they would rather just like go back into prison because they like that's he just got used to. Oh my goodness, that's so scary.
But he won.